Yo, 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 this is Millennial Vibes, where we chill, where we talk, where we vibe. We're real over here. Real stories, real growth, and conversations. No pressure, no pretending, just us showing up as we are. Welcome to Millennial Vibes. Woo woo. You are divine, you are a star. Come on, yo. Yes, we're just gonna hang out, we're gonna have fun, we're gonna get real, we're gonna get down to the deep and the talk. Welcome to Millennial Vibes. Hello, hello. Hey, what's up? I'm finally doing this. I can't believe I'm finally doing this. Like, honestly, I think I've put this off for so long. And again, I know why. I mean, I can know why I have put this off for so long. But yeah, it's finally time. So, guys, welcome to my podcast. This is Millennial Vibes with me, the one and only Komboka. Yeah, it's that girl. So, I don't know. What should I tell you guys? This is very exciting for me because it signals a new chapter in my life. And I thought of doing this with y'all, with each and every one of you, my fellow millennials, my mean. I feel like we're not represented enough, like we're not put out there enough, like who we are. My God, we are like the people. Our music itself was like the it, you know. Everything for us was the it. So I feel like we're not represented enough in terms of, who we are and what we're going through as a people, as a generation that is. And so I thought of coming up with this podcast. Yeah, so let's dive in. So this is gonna be a safe space for y'all, especially, and for me too, because I come here not as a teacher, but I come here to just talk to you and learn also alongside with you. So this is gonna be a safe space for unlearning, for healing, and we're still figuring it out, yo. So it's not too late. So we're still doing this, yeah? So join me. Come on, let's do this together. Well, well, well. So, first of all, I think the first question I would ask myself is why I even thought of doing this. I think I've thought about this for some months now and just trying to figure out how best I can put it out there. And I think there's not really a right way to start it off or to just plan it. And you know, you can sit and plan for forever, but there's no right time. The right time is simply right now. So I want to welcome you and I want to tell you that this is a safe space. You can come in, you can chillax, you can relax, you can listen and reconnect and connect with the stories that you're going to be doing. I thought of doing this first episode on my own because I wanted y'all, my audience, to get acclimatized with me. Yeah, so that you know me also and you know where I'm coming from and why I'm doing all this. Yeah. So anyway, what is millennial vibes? I thought of a name of starting it. We always see like the hangouts that people do, millennials, nini and shit. And I thought people, it's all about the music. Where is the talk? Where is the growing up? Where is the what we're going through? As a generation, as a person. And so I thought of doing millennial vibes. And millennial vibes simply means it's everything. It's everything millennial. It's you, millennial. It's the growing you. It's the things that you're going through. It's the things you're unlearning. It's who you are. It's how you dress. It's what you listen to, everything millennial, basically. And so the feeling behind it is, yeah, that was the feeling behind it actually. The feeling behind it was, we have the music part, we have every other part, but we don't have the talk part, the discussion part. And I thought, yo, why not bring this to life, man? This is my thing. I've always wanted to do camera. I've always wanted to be in front of the camera. I think I've tried somewhere here and there and saying, maybe I might do a podcast with somebody, partner up and stuff like that. But I thought, y'all, what the hell? Let me just do this by myself because I know what I want and I know what I want to put out there and I know the kind of people I want to vibe with. So yeah, welcome. And so something else, I don't know. It's for all millennials, basically. I welcome you honestly, totally, 100%, to this space. It's a safe space for y'all, for us, for me. So welcome and vibe with me and roll with me each and every time. Okay, we're gonna be doing this, I think, bi-weekly probably. And so you can always look out for the next episode, I think. I'll let you know as we continue. So this podcast basically, for me, it's now me as a millennial, whatever I've been going through, and whatever's been happening in my life, the growing up, and it's kind of my way of connecting with y'all and just connecting also with myself. And I've been growing a lot. There's a lot that has been happening to me as a millennial. And I don't speak as a normal millennial. I speak like an awakened millennial, because we also have so many awakened millennials out there who are like me, people who have, let's say, done away with things like religion, and you're still awakening from so much stuff. You think religion is the only thing you're supposed to wake up from, but again, it's so many other things. So yeah, I've been growing, I've been changing, and there's a post. I think there's a post I saw yesterday. I think someone on my socials on Facebook, I think, and it was talking about the person I was 4 years ago is not even me anymore. The person I was even a year ago is not me anymore. We are constantly growing and unlearning and relearning, and I think that is the beauty of life. Constantly growing and metamorphosizing into new faces. Yeah. So I thought, many millennials are going through transitions, and I'm thinking like it's kind of like quiet transitions, in betweens of what I wanted to be and what I am right now, stuff like that. So many people are going through this stuff, and it's chiniamaji. So I thought, why not put it out there? Let people like learn and just know the real us, the authentic us, the way we are, and the way we are changing and the way we're connecting. So basically, it's just like growth is not a linear process. Growth is just, it happens. Sometimes you're down, sometimes you're up, sometimes you pick yourself up, you move a step forward, and then again you go two steps backwards. So growth is not linear, really, and everyone's timeline is different. So just keep on, a step at a time, a day at a time, We keep doing this as long as, you just remember to do you each and every time, to do you, to choose yourself, to go after your dreams, to go after whatever, made you smile or made you joyous. That's the whole point, I think, of returning to yourself as a millennial, who's growing or who's kind of growing. Yeah, something like that. So anyway, let's talk a little bit, I guess, about my awakening journey. So here I can say my awakening journey was mostly, growing up with certain beliefs. You're growing up, you're being told, oh, let's say religious wise, you're growing up, you're being told Jesus is coming back soon, this stuff like that. You're growing up, you're expected to be this. Maybe your mother, your father, your family is like, why are you not a doctor, or why are you not a teacher? Those are the only things they recognize, man. And those are their beliefs. We have to find ourselves. So for me, it was, I started asking questions sometime, I think almost 8 years, 9 years ago. It's been quite a journey. And it's the feeling confused for me, the feeling guilty, the feeling scared. You don't know if this is right. Am I going the right direction? You're fighting yourself. You're fighting, your parents on this side, or your family, and other people who knew you, they are on this side, they're fighting, they're like, this is who you're supposed to be. This is what you're supposed to be doing at this time. And, on this other side, you're also fighting with yourself. You're like, what am I supposed to be doing? I'm no longer maybe interested in this. I want to do this. We are constantly changing. There's nobody who's stuck at the same place, constantly. So for me, it was more of discovering myself, the self-awareness, literally just finding myself, trying to know myself, minus the conditioning, how I was brought up, which religion I was brought up in, all that kind of stuff. And I realized like it's been a real journey, and I'm still growing and I'm still learning. But I can say it's been a beautiful journey, full of ups and downs. Sometimes you think you fall into a pit and you think you're not gonna wake up, or you're not gonna pick yourself up, and you're wondering, what the hell is this life? Sometimes you just even want it to end. But well, we've been up. I can speak for myself. I've been through ups and downs. I've been in holes, trying to find myself and all that stuff. But again, I'm super grateful, because if I didn't go through all that, well, I wouldn't have found myself. I wouldn't have found me right now. I wouldn't be having this courage of sitting right here before the camera and doing my own thing, man. Look at me. It's just my space. This is my thing. Yeah, so that's it for me. So my takeaway points from My awakening journey, I can say, is it's okay to let yourself question. It's okay for you to accept to question stuff that you've been taught. It's okay to think, otherwise. You don't have to go with the beliefs or the statements that somebody has told you, maybe because it's your parent or whatever, and you trust them. Sometimes it's good to just think, to ask questions and think these things on your own and ask yourself, who am I? Trying to find all those answers and stuff. So, and something else, by the way, awakening can feel very lonely, extremely lonely. I think for most people, we can agree that this journey is one journey where you really have to walk it yourself because, nobody else is going to find you except you, right? So you're always thrown into a part, into something that's like, it's just you staying alone, and finding yourself. And, you try to find guidance here and there, yeah, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, sometimes you have to drop some ideas and stuff like that, but it's constantly you by yourself with your own thoughts. You can imagine how frightening that can be and how lonely that can feel. So and I think what I realized and what's most beautiful is that you don't need to have all the answers, You just keep moving with whatever you have as you find out more. For me, by the way, I think my awakening journey was a lot of research. Hey, me and research. Me, I love to research things. I love to find out new things. I love to find out the whys and the hows of everything. So for me, a lot of research, a lot of, watching stuff here and there, elevating music, uplifting music for the soul, stuff like that, all that stuff is what culminated into, the making of me, the growing person right now. So, yeah. And, I realized that I began listening to myself more and shedding off the doubt. And the doubt, by the way, comes mostly as a result of, the conditioning and mostly religion and the way we are brought up, even even like the setting of school, and stuff like that, the teachers, what they told you, we totally believe them, because they're teachers, and we thought they knew better than us. But hey, you come to adulthood and you realize, man, they don't know better than you, and you have to find out this shit by yourself. So yeah. And what I can say is something else, maybe I'm still on the journey. I cannot say that I'm done with it or like, no, not really. I'm continuing. I can just say it's a beautiful learning journey of constantly unlearning and relearning. And I think the most beautiful thing is to just be able to be open minded enough to challenge your own perhaps, let's say, beliefs or whatever kind of things that you fed yourself and you thought that they were right, being able to challenge that in itself and think otherwise and be open minded, it's beautiful because, well, growth is always guaranteed and in a positive way at that, you know. Anyway, something else. So I'll move on to something else. I'll talk about the real millennial struggles, man. Well. These real millennial struggles for real. And stuff like, the pressure to have it together. Imagine I'm only 31 and I'm being pressured to have it together. Can you believe it? Like right now, they expect me to have, a stable 9 to 5 job, probably you have your car, you have your family, you're married, you have children, stuff like that. That's the pressure from society, literally. And something else is comparing yourself online. I think I don't know if I've really like struggled with that. Not really, because I've always been a really strong character and I've always like really stood out for myself and just like I'm always one person who just loves to think for myself and just to do things on my own. The comparing part, not so much, but maybe a little bit the one you just look and you're just like a little bit envious and stuff, but that's it. Because, after all, I think for me, I realized early in my awakening journey that your journey can never be the same as anybody else's. It's your own journey. Yeah. So something else, is feeling behind for millennials. Something else for millennials, a real millennial struggle is feeling behind. And especially this is perpetuated by our families, and our aunties and the rest. They tell you, look at so and so, they already have a job. Look at so and so, they already have children. You are here. Like, for me, sometimes they even use me as an example. They say, look at Kwamboka, she already has, 2 or 3 children, and you're here, you don't even have a child yet. Like, come on, really, the pressure. You see that kind of pressure, it can really eat into you if you don't know yourself, Self-awareness, very important. Yeah. So some just take away, I'd say, just to let other millennials know that you're not too late. It doesn't matter whether you're 35, whether you're 38, whether you're 45. It does not matter. You're not too late. Your journey is your own. Your path is yours. There's no way it can be the same as somebody else's. So it's really futile for somebody else to try and compare you with somebody else's journey. Like telling you, I don't know, somebody else is 31 and they're already doing ABCD. So what? That's their journey. We're happy for them. We clap for them as we keep on moving on our own, right? And something else, man, you are not broken. Remember that. You're not broken. You're whole as you are. So let nobody try to make you feel like you're broken, you're fragmented because you don't have ABCD or you've not done ABCD. No. You're whole as you are. You're perfect as you are. You're imperfectly perfect. Yeah? So, and something else also, you are constantly evolving, you're evolving constantly. And the good thing is to just evolve in a positive way, in a way that is of growth, especially to yourself, to your own soul. Yeah. So, what should you all be expecting on Millennial Vibes from? So, we're going to be doing a lot of, I think I'll be doing, this is my first, I thought of doing my first episode as a solo episode, but subsequent episodes, I would love to absolutely have guests, y'all. I have mad, like, I'm thinking like, to bring very unique people on set, people who can really relate to this, people with kids, people, millennials maybe with who have none, to just learn of their journeys and to just connect. And perhaps people who can teach us something, teach us a thing or two, learn, psychologists, stuff like that. Anything that can bring the relation and awareness to the millennial vibe, you know. I would totally love that. So we'll be having such guest conversations. And then we'll be doing a lot of topics on growth, healing, awakening, purpose, healing, stuff like that. And it's gonna be honest, it's gonna be raw, it's gonna be unfiltered. I would love that space, man. It's time to be authentic because I mean, fake it for who? I'm just authentic to me. All that it matters, all that matters is me. All that matters is, being real to me and to y'all also, so that, we share this space and we get to know each other, we get to learn, you know. I would love that absolutely. I do foresee a big future with Millennial Vibes. I love it absolutely. I'm outgoing and I'm social, I'm friendly. I love to host people, I love to talk to people, and I don't know. Let's see where this goes. I'm not so much of a planner. I'm so much of, just going with the flow and just letting the universe, take us wherever it may, wherever the river floweth, we go. Yeah. So let's see. Uh, Something else, perhaps. I just say, I'm not here to teach anything really because I realized, actually, earlier on in my awakening, when I was awakening, finding out stuff about religion, colonization, patriarchy, all that stuff that is related to the conditioning of society. Societal conditioning by the is so deep, the brainwashing, all that stuff. So I can say I'm not really here to teach, I'm just here to share and about my journey, about other people's journeys that I'm gonna be having on set as well. So we're gonna just be learning and growing together. And well, what else can I say? Thank you so much for listening to me and for being here in this intro, in this introduction, in knowing me. Yeah. And I would love so much to walk this journey with y'all and to be able to bring every aspect of the millennial life, be it religion, be it spirituality, be it what else? Wellness, and food, stuff like that. I would love to continue, yeah, in that aspect. So maybe perhaps a question for you will be like, where right now do you feel you are like in your awakening journey? What is that? What stage of awakening are you in, by the way? And I realize the awakening journey is not easy at all. Sometimes it needs us to, like, it's like you're plunged. It's like the universe throws you to the bottomless pit, not really bottomless pit, but to the pit. You're supposed to start at the roots, at the ground. sometimes you lose so much. You lose friends, you lose family, you lose even your job. I think I've had people who've literally left. I have a friend who left abroad, like literally. She just packed up and just left abroad, and came here. That's things that awakening can do to you. You know, you can just decide to leave your job and just feel like, no, this is not it, and this cannot be me, and you just go off and start something else totally different. And to your family, they're like, you've gone crazy. You do not even know what you're doing anymore, stuff like that. And I think it's really been a tough journey, and it's a tough journey on millennials in general. And if you find a sane millennial out there, man, big up to them, because you don't know what those people are going through. Trust you me. And I think those are the most, like, that age set is the most brilliant, most beautiful. We have the most beautiful of music. We love the hangouts, the vibes, everything. They're mature right now. People know what they want, you know, and they know what they also don't want. It's a very interesting time also, and age, and especially it really clashes with what society has told them to be versus, what now we know, or what our mind has opened up to. Going to school, by the way, I think it was not even really about the education per se or getting jobs. For me, I'd say it's absolutely about mind opening, your mind being open and being able to explore things, to learn things, to research things, to chase your own dreams. And I think that is the most beautiful thing. I love to see people who are after their own hearts, they're after their own dreams. They're out there chasing themselves, finding themselves, being aware, being themselves, being real. you know Nobody's perfect, so we chase perfection so much, and we just forget to just be who we are, and to accept ourselves for who we are, and just roll and vibe with ourselves. So anyway, this has been really nice, and this has been really fun. I would love for us to keep talking in our subsequent in our subsequent episodes. Yeah, I don't really have much to say today. I'm just happy. That's all I can say. Today I'm really happy that I've done this for myself. And I think it's a step forward. I said this 2026, I must ace it. And for me, acing it was in my own way. I have to define my own success. What is success for me? What do I want? And I thought for me, success is just being able to be at peace, be free to do whatever that I want, and at the same time, be able to earn from it, perhaps, or yeah, to just put food on the table from it, and to just be able to do whatever I want to. I realized in the long run, this life, when I die, I always ask myself whether there's something I read somewhere, and I've been practicing it ever since. They say, like, question your own mortality every day, like, ponder, like, think about it, think about your own mortality. When you die, what do you want yourself, like, what do you want to tell yourself when you die? Will you say, I regret, not doing ABCD, I wish I did this, I wish I did that? That is the main problem. By the way, I would not have done this podcast if it was not for that. This is just that nudge that was just like, I have to do this, I have to do this, and it kept pushing and it kept pushing. That's my soul, literally, that was like trying to push me, to put me out there, because this is who I am. I think when I joined high school, I wanted to be a journalist, Somehow along the way, I was convinced to do law, but I was not really, I loved books and theory, yes, but I did not really love it in that perspective. I wanted to be a journalist. I wanted to be in front of the camera. I wanted to speak. I wanted to, I don't know. But I think this is me now, and I feel perfectly in my element. Like, I feel 100% in my element. I feel like, there's so much to explore, and the future is really bright for millennial vibes and for this podcast. And well, I can't wait to see where it all takes me, where this wheel rolls off to. It's gonna get controversial sometimes because, well, we've grown, man. We've grown, and some people are gonna be watching this and they'll be like, shocked and all, they're like, is this the same person I knew? Is this the same person I knew? Well, since y'all are always wondering who am I, well, this is me now in my element, and I love absolutely doing this. And I'm so happy for myself. I'm so happy for starting this. And I think today I need to go and drink and cheers, man, to myself and say, you did it. And it's 2025 and it's ending. And it's perfectly amazing. So anyway, I'm gonna leave it at that, and I'm gonna share with you a song by Londrell, and it's called Gratitude, and I'm gonna be leaving it, playing. It's gonna play, and you're gonna love it absolutely. I hope you do listen to it to the end. I think one of the artists that I listen to most is Londrell, and yeah, mostly. I do love his music. It's very uplifting for the soul, very, very uplifting. Like it's gonna put you on a very different frequency. Your soul is gonna absolutely love it. So I invite you, I implore you, I invite you and I implore you. So if you're ready, come with me, walk with me, let's learn together, let's do this together, let's find ourselves together. So y'all stay growing and you stay glowing, and Londrell is gonna be playing. So ciao for now. See you next time, my loves. Mwah, mwah, mwah.